So welcome, John Rinaldi.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having tea with me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I wanted to try to get together with you so I can help you introduce to other people what is different about you and your practice, why I chose you as an expert.
Okay. Well, my practice offers a very unique perspective. I myself, the reason why I became a chiropractor a number of years ago is because of the fact that I was ill and I went through a medical gamut of all sorts of studies, etc. And I tried chiropractic as a last resort based on the fact that no one really was able to diagnose me and find out what was wrong with me. And as a last resort, I went to a chiropractor knowing literally nothing about it, and who was able to get me to a diagnosis of, unfortunately at the time, it was cancer.
Wow.
Even though it was probably one of the worst diagnoses someone could ever expect to have, it turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life and caused me to decide to go to school, become a chiropractor, and give back.
That's a great story. That's a
Yeah.
great story. So obviously you're okay now. This was
Yes.
many years ago.
Yes. I was 18 at the time.
So how has that made you so different than other chiropractors as well?
Well, we do offer the unique perspective, and I offer an integrative approach within my practice. So a lot of the people who work within my practice work with very similar ideas, similar ethics, in that with this integrative approach, we try to incorporate everything into getting people well and achieving some sort of wellness or some degree of wellness and balance within people's bodies.
So you do, it's like what I do, which is the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual.
Yes, every bit of them have to be addressed, every single one of them.
So how does that work? Because I know you talk about the neural, muscular, skeletal system. So explain to our viewers how that works.
Well, there are a number of different systems within the body, as most people know. Your neurological system controls nearly everything within the human body, and by controlling your muscular system, which then controls your spine and your joints and your bones and movement, etc., you have to consider everything rather than just one thing in getting a person well. And you also have to consider the fact that your activities of daily living play hell on this neuromusculoskeletal system. And if you don't address everything rather than just a few things, a person's never going to achieve balance and wellness. And so we try to address everything in our practice to get people well.
Well, I remember reading very recently, and I think I just put it on my website, about how sitting is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your heart and for your body.
Absolutely.
So how does that relate to bones and structure? Because I know with me, as an ergonomics specialist, I go into workplaces and I see people even sitting on their chairs wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is what I mean about the activities of daily living and how they play hell on your body. It's improper movement, it's poor posture, it's stress, it's lack of exercise, improper exercise, it's disease, it's arthritis, it's aging. All these things are playing hell on your body, and so that's why they all need to be addressed. And in chiropractic, we work not only with adjusting the spine, which are specific high-velocity movements with low force to address any kind of...
So you're not a bone cracker, the bone cruncher?
Yeah, we don't like to call them bone cracking, but the adjustments are important, they are key, but there's a number of different integrative approaches, like I said, which will use ancillary therapies, electric stims, ultrasounds, diet, exercise recommendations, body composition testing, and modifications of the bodies. And we'll work in workplaces where we'll try to address people's postures at they're sitting at computers on a daily basis. You have to consider everything in getting a person well, and that's what we try to do.
How do you work with food?
Okay, well, this is an extremely important thing. You are what you eat, and we all know that, and I know you truly believe in that sort of thing. In addressing food and diet is a big thing within my office. People come to me not only for losing weight and dieting, and but people will come to me simply just to find out what is the best way to maintain my weight and my wellness based on food alone. So we do address food and diets and maintaining perfect body composition by making all sorts of recommendations. Now, it's unique to a lot of different people. People do have sensitivities to certain foods, and we'll address those things too.
Do you do that with applied kinesiology? Are you a new test for food?
We don't do, no, I don't actually. There's a number of different ways to test for food, and a lot of times I'll use outside sources as well.
Okay.
But you have to consider the fact that everyone is unique. All right, everyone does have certain sensitivities to certain foods, and then we go accordingly.
So let me ask you. I have the saying, the more I do, the younger I feel.
Yeah.
The younger I feel, the more I do.
Absolutely.
So when you watch the diet, obviously, you're going to feel better. You're going to be a little thinner. Most of the time you're going to lose weight, so that extra bulk you don't have makes it easier to exercise. How does now chiropractic care come into play with the same kind of philosophy as food and what exercise does? How do you?
Well, you know,
Okay.
we have a theory, and it's posted in various places throughout my office too, where the body will work on the use it or lose it principle. All
Okay.
right? When it comes to exercise, especially, you know, you don't use your ranges of motion and your activities to the best of your ability. Your body will lose the ability to function properly. Both.
At what point do you think that happens? Because I tell my clients, you know, I'm very, very big right now on the 50 age group because I am 50. So, and also seniors I work with. But I tell people, if you don't start now at this age, it just gets harder and harder to start.
It absolutely does.
So at what age do you feel that it starts? And I know with my daughter at 21, and I told her, if you don't keep doing back bends at 18, 19, 20, by the time you're 22, 23, you're not going to be able to do the same back
That's
bend.
correct.
My son used to be able to go from position crow, which is basically with your knees behind your elbows, and
Right.
push up into handstand. And I said to him, if you don't keep doing that by 27, you're going to lose it. I don't know why I have these numbers in my head, but sure enough, at 27, he couldn't do it.
See, that's the truth, and there's an important thing that I also say all the time too, in regards to this, that, you know, most people say, you know, hey doc, I can't do that because, hey listen, I'm 60 years old.
Right.
Well, you know what, are you, or I'm an old man, or I'm an old woman. And I said, you know what, are you unable to do these things because you're aging? Or are you aging because you never gave yourself the opportunity to do these things?
It's perfect.
What is the cause?
I love that. Can
What
I
is
use
the
that?
effect? Absolutely. But what's the cause and what's the effect?
Right.
And I try to explain to them, listen, you may not have done it in your life. It's never too late to start, you know, within moderation. But yeah, I personally agree 100% that you should start at a young age and continue it and keep going and keep going and keep going. And unfortunately, younger people may not be educated on that as much. And by the time they are educated on it, sometimes it is a lot later in their life. And we have to, but it's not too late.
No, it's never too late to start doing something, but it should be stressed at certain points. If, you know, when you're 80 and starting yoga, yes, still start yoga, but it may not get to a split until you're about 100.
And good luck.
Yes. Well, John, thank you so much for spending this time. I'm really hoping that we can do a video with yoga and showing that, because you've never done.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get you in my studio, and then I want to see from a chiropractic standpoint how the postures relate to chiropractic care and how to do them, how not to do them, what it's good for, what it maybe not, you know. And especially because I have a lot of people who come to me who say, oh, I have a back injury, I can't do yoga, but I say to them, it's more important that you do.
Correct.
So that will be our next
LT,
and that'll be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What was that, like